Hey Pisces, how are you? I hope you are doing well. I love you so much. Just wanted to let you know right off the bat, I love you a lot. I really hope that you're treating yourself well, you're drinking water, you're eating. Just wanted to say that, okay? If you're new here, welcome. My name is Nina, or Sinfulpluto. My hair, my God. If you're returning, welcome back. Thank you for coming back. I love you so much. And I hope that for the next 15, 20 minutes, I can help you ease the pressure of the day. I don't know why I felt the need to say this, but I just hope you're doing okay. Pisces, I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into it. This is going to apply to your sun, moon, rising, tropical, and sidereal. I'm using spellcasters if you're interested. If you want to book a reading with me, you can do so at sinfulpluto.com. Make sure to read the description, the listing description, so that you know most, if not all, of the information that you need to know. You can find me on social media at Sinfulpluto on Twitter and Instagram. Let me think. There's something else I need to say. Oh, thank you so much for your liking, sharing, and subscribing. I'm really grateful, and I ask that you continue to do so. I would love to hear your experiences and feedback in the comments down below, so don't be shy to let me know if it resonates or what doesn't resonate, okay? All right, Pisces, what's in store for you the week of July 8th? What's in store for you the week of July 8th? What's in store for Pisces the week of July 8th? Oh no, too many cards, brother. Too many cards. Let's try that again. What's in store for Pisces the week of July 8th? All right. Oh, okay. Okay, so we have... Let me get myself situated. Let me get these cards out. Okay, so we have the Lovers. So you could be dealing with a Gemini. We have the Ace of Cups reversed. We have the Page of Pentacles reversed. And then we have the Fool reversed. So you could be dealing with Aquarius or an Aries. This week, let me put these over here so that they're not in my way. All right, so for some of you, you could be dealing with a relationship, or this could be in terms of a choice. So we have the Lovers here, right? So this can be a relationship or a choice. With the Ace of Cups reversed, I think I'm leaning more so towards some sort of relationship or something that's like not really emotionally fulfilling. And when I say relationship, it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It can literally be any sort of relationship, any sort of interpersonal connection that you have. Okay? Lovers and Ace of Cups reversed. So it seems to me that if this is a relationship, it does feel that the cup, maybe you're looking at things like in a cup half empty sort of situation, or maybe you feel as though it is draining you. Maybe you feel as though a Gemini is draining you right now. Maybe you feel, maybe you don't know, maybe you no longer feel optimistic about this relationship, especially with the Page of Pentacles reversed. There's a sense of complacency here. Maybe you are being complacent, or your partner is being a little bit complacent in this relationship. And there's this, I have the Ten of Cups here. So this should seem like a happy relationship, or maybe at first it felt like a very happy and emotionally fulfilling relationship, but something isn't right, because we have the Fool reverse, which is someone walking back into their past life, or like instead of someone taking that leap of faith, they're going back to what is familiar and comfortable to them, which I think is further confirmed by the Judgment card reversed. And then we have the Page of Cups, which is, to me, in this card, having a lot of fun. You could be dealing with a Capricorn, because I think this is kind of similar to what I was talking about with Capricorn almost. It's almost like for some of you Pisces, it seems like someone is walking away from a very emotionally stable relationship just so that they can have fun and so that they can go out and party and drink and be single. It's almost like they didn't really value the relationship. And it feels like past, like, history is kind of being repeated with the Judgment card reversed. But it's kind of hitting you suddenly, I feel like. Because the Ten of Cups, it really just seemed to me that things were good. It felt like, I mean, it seemed like things were good. Or maybe you were under the illusion that things were good. But it seems like things were good. And then here we have Judgment reversed, where history is being repeated. And then we have the Page of Cups. There could be a drinking problem. Just throwing that out there. If it doesn't resonate, that's fine. But there could be some sort of drinking problem, or like an obsession, or I don't want to say addiction, but a very strong inclination for drinking or doing a lot of drugs or partying a lot, or just like having a lot of fun. Like not wanting to be planted in reality, like running away from reality. Page of Cups, and I'm saying that because there's someone like literally drinking to the point where it's like all pouring out of his chin. It's like pouring down, spilling out, right? Or there could be like a very strong inclination to what's it called? What's an appropriate way of saying this? Of intercourse. I'll just say that. Of intercourse. It really does feel like with the Page of Pentacles, like someone isn't putting enough work, or someone isn't putting in as much work as they should be. And they're reverting to old ways, especially with the Judgment card reversed. It feels like someone is reverting to the old ways. And with the Ace of Cups reversed, it kind of seems like they've kind of lost interest. It really does feel like someone is losing interest. It could either be you or someone else who is losing interest in this emotionally stable relationship. It honestly kind of feels like it's almost like, the relationship is way too stable, I'm bored now. That's what it feels like. They're bored. Even though the relationship seems happy and all of that, but it's like this person is like, I want drama, It's almost like they're used to toxic behaviors in a relationship, and now that they're in a healthy relationship, they're like, I don't really want to be in this anymore. I don't like it anymore. And so that's why Judgment is reversed. It's like history is being repeated. This is repeating of history. Again, this could be you or another person. But I see someone, just going back to their old life, wanting to go back to their old life, especially with the Fool card reversed. Someone wants to go back to their old life. I keep hearing someone wants to go back to the dark side. That's what that feels like for you, Pisces. Why? It almost feels like they just don't want to work on it anymore. Page of Pentacles reversed. They don't want to work on it anymore. I guess it could be that they genuinely just fell out of love with the Ace of Cups reversed, but that's not... I don't know, man. It could also be with the Lovers card, maybe... Again, it could be a Gemini, but maybe there's some sort of choice that you have to make. Maybe there's a choice that you have to make in relation to some sort of relationship. The Ace of Cups reversed can also signify like a superficial relationship. So I wonder if this person is seeing how much deeper this relationship is, and they're losing interest because they didn't really want anything all that serious. There's a difference in... You're not on the same page. It feels like you're not really on the same page, and this has kind of happened in the past. Maybe you've been dealing with the same person about this whole situation, and so it kind of feels like history is being repeated. And it doesn't really seem... Maybe for some of you, they made it seem as though they are interested in a long-term relationship or in something a lot more emotionally fulfilling, but in the relationship, they lost interest. But for some of you, it could be that this person, either you or someone else has made it clear that you're just not interested in a long-term relationship, and you wanted things to be a little bit more casual, a little bit more passionate, more sexual, and now you're here, and you kind of maybe tried to forget that that's what they wanted, and you're kind of here in this mess, kind of like idealizing everything, and reality is kind of hitting you like, no, that's not what they wanted in the first place, and they made that very clear, but you kind of wanted to ignore it, hoping that they were being serious or something. Yeah, reality is hitting with that Fool reverse, because this to me is like, rather than someone being kind of like taking that leap of faith, they're a little bit more jaded, and they see things a little bit more realistically here. So I really do feel that for some of you, reality could be hitting about this relationship, which unfortunately, that really sucks, and I'm sorry for that. But I feel like you kind of knew all along, or you tried to ignore the reality of this, and you really did try to ignore the reality of this, but I think that you knew. Some of you really kind of knew that it wasn't going to happen, or it wasn't meant to be, or, it could either be that this person was deceiving you into thinking that everything was going to be happy and fun, or it could just be that they were straight up, but you just ignored it. You were like, it went in one ear, not the other, because you're like, oh, I'm in love with this person, we're going to be together forever, and you did the Pisces thing where you really convinced yourself of a fantasy. Which, no shade. I get it. I literally have Venus opposite Neptune, so I get you. But girl, come on. That's what it really feels like for you, Pisces. I'm really sorry to say this. But I just feel that with the Page of Pentacles reversed, it's like they don't care to put in the effort. Or maybe you don't care to put in the effort. But I feel like they don't care to put in the genuine effort that you wanted or that you expected. So, just something to be mindful of. I really do feel that you took it a lot more seriously than this other person did. I feel that you kind of took on the lover's energy where you were very passionate and in love and you wanted to like bind yourselves together. And this other person, the Page of Cups, was just like, no, like I'm just trying to have fun, dude. I'm just trying to have fun. And so there's that rift here. It just feels like they're not ready. And there's a little bit of immaturity, perhaps on both ends with this Fool reverse. There's a little bit of immaturity here. And it could be with the Fool reverse where you were too quick to jump the gun. Maybe you were too quick to jump into this committed relationship. And look where it's got you now. It's got you into the same event that has happened before. Alright, so let me go ahead and pull some oracle cards for you and then we'll end it at that, okay? Alright. So, what messages does Pisces need to hear at this time? What message does Pisces need to hear at this time? No, that was too many cards. What message does Pisces need to hear? What message does Pisces need to know? Alright. Okay. Lay a solid foundation. I feel that some of you might have really jumped the gun on something and it's biting you in the ass. And it may be that this is the thing that is kind of the catalyst for what makes history repeat itself, right? You jumping the gun. You allowing your fantasy thoughts to get the best of you, which, I don't blame you. You're a dreamer, you can't help it. But I think that a lot of you might need to really work on that. And work, especially with this eclipse season, some of you might really need to work on being a little bit more realistic and reflecting on these events so that you don't remain in the same cycle, okay? And so that you don't remain in the same just loop of things repeating themselves. So lay a solid foundation. I feel like this really talks about, your relationships and how you need to get to know someone and how you really need to listen to them and listen to what they're saying and build a firmer and stronger foundation within your relationships in all senses of the word, not just romantic relationships, but overall relationships with people in general, so that you both know where you stand and nothing kind of leaks through any sort of cracks. Lay a solid foundation in your relationship before you commit to anything, because that's how you end up taking a leap of faith and falling rather than being caught. Because there's no solid foundation. It's just literally all illusion at this point. So I think that for a lot of you, it's really a matter of creating a stable connection and not just rushing into it, not just jumping into it and thinking that the guy that you see at the mall or the person that you see at the mall, the person that you see at the mall is the person that you're going to marry just because they helped you tie your shoe or something. It's just... bring yourself back down to earth. And listen, it's a lot easier said than done, and it's not really in your nature because you love to dream and all of that. But listen, it's just something that you got to do. And I feel that for some of you jumping into this very quickly is a way of self-sabotage for you, because I have experience with this where I've done this, so I get it. But it's almost like your form of self-sabotage is jumping in when there's no foundation to land on, when there's no land, when there's no solid thing to land on. And you see that, but you kind of ignore it and hope that you'll just be caught anyways. And I feel like that's kind of a form of self-sabotage for you, and maybe that's a way for you to prevent from actually and genuinely falling in love and finding true love. Because as long as things remain wobbly, you don't actually have to end up committing to anyone, really. And I know that for Pisces, you have these high expectations, these really, honestly, really unrealistic expectations. But I feel like they're unrealistic for a reason, and no one is perfect enough for you for a reason, And it's because maybe for some of you, maybe it's because you don't think that you're actually good enough for it, or because you're just scared of genuinely falling in love, because then that brings you down to the real world. It's easier to remain in a fantasy than it is to be in the real world for you. And so I think that's what's going on. So sometimes it's easier for you to have clouds rather than brick, because you can just remain floating in that cloud. So I really suggest that you work on that. That's just one, acknowledge it, and become aware of it, but to find ways to rewire yourself or deprogram that self-sabotage from yourself, from your body, from your life. Obviously, a lot easier said than done, but it's possible. So that's what I have for you, Pisces. I love you so much. I wish you the best of luck. And listen, some of you might really feel discouraged right now and all of that, but you got it, okay? I love you so much, and you got this, and you'll get through it. You'll get through it. You'll be fine. So I will talk to you soon, okay?